Lay. Sir. Yeah.
Kane is in the building.
Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come to the show. What's up? Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come to the show goes on.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through they teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they ass. See, that's how that Chateau made me, that's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up, when times is hard you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up.
Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on.
One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't wanna be there. None for the niggas trying to hold them back. Five in the air for the teacher not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that the niggas holding back, that the world is theirs. Yeah, yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war for these ghetto girls and boys. I'm rapping around the world for Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour, Oakland out to Oakland, Gaza Strip to Detroit. Say hip hop only destroy. Tell them look at me, boy. I hope your son don't have a gun and never be a D-boy.
Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on.
So no matter what you've been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see, when you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired. Let them know you there, that you struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere. Yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home. Even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on. Alright,
already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so strong. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long.
Hello, DRW. This is Tyler Jackson and Taylor Larson. We've got a special guest tonight. Everybody, Tony Schumacher's on the phone, 8-time NHRA champion. How's it going, Tony?
It's good. Busy, man. Busy off-season, but it's fantastic.
Well, that's good. You got to stay busy.
Yeah, man. Spent yesterday. Actually flew out to Huntsville, Alabama. Went to the one of the Army, not quite a base, more of an armory, but an arsenal they call it. But flew helicopters. And, actually got to do something real cool. Got to put on. It's like a black suit, little white dots all over you, and it's how you generate a game. You know, that was one of the Army life games. It was cool, man.
Oh, that sounds
cool. It's different. It's something you don't see every day, you know.
Oh, heck yeah, that sounds awesome. That would have been fun. We were sitting in school, so So, that sounds like more of a fun day than what we had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning days, though, and you shoot stuff till 7, 8 o'clock. Got to fly some helicopters and see some, just the latest and greatest technology, man. That the civilian world develops and Army gets to use. It's just great, man. Helicopters that find kids lost in the woods and track heat, 6 miles away, can check out a license plate and look for cars and look for people, and bad guys, good guys, whatever they want, man. Just got to fly it. Actually, could fly it myself. I had some great pilots in there with me showing me how to. It's one of my favorite things, man. Helicopters or something. They're bad as bone, dude.
Heck yeah.
Awesome vehicle.
Heck yeah. All right, so we're going to get started here, guys.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, obviously you won the championship this year, your 8th Top Fuel championship. Just kind of summarize your season for us, and what was special about this one as opposed to the other one?
Yeah, it's a great question. It started out, we went out with one Vegas, one Epping, New Hampshire, but Coletta was just smashing us, man. He was running extremely well. And we got on the Western Swing, or getting up to the Western Swing. We started the 6-disc clutch we've been working on for 2.5 years, really started to come together and gel. And we were running good as anyone out there. Even Mike Dunn was putting us at the top of the performance chart. And we were winning rounds, getting to the finals, performing like we, kind of the old Army car. And we got down to the important races, even before the countdown, because the countdown is obviously important to win the championship. You have to you have to win those races. But before that, just a few races before that, you got to be getting strong, And when we were getting strong, the guys that were out there demolishing the field early on kind of fell off. They weren't running slower. They were getting beat. And, it puts pressure on them, and it breaks their back. Coletta and even Antron, my teammates, the guys were 1 and 2 when we got to the countdown, went out first round at the first 2 races. And, as good as the cars are, they start to race for second place when they lose that stronghold they had on the season. And we just put a chokehold on them, man. We kept it, went out first round a couple times, won 3 races, and won 4 of the 6 finals. And we just, what made it special was the fact that Alan Johnson left us in 2008, and Mike Green and our crew chief, the new guys, won the championship, even though we were written off 100%. But people said, well, you had Alan Johnson's tune-up. You just had to hold on to it for a year. The car we won with this year is 100% different. There's not a piece of that car that's the same. We won it with a canopy, with a cockpit on my car. So the car should be heavier. My guys didn't work extra hard to lighten it up. And, all those people that were out there saying, well, the car's too heavy, we can't make this work. They were wrong. We made it work. We made it work. Not only did it work, it won the championship. So we're the safest leg protection, the safest, every piece you can put on that car is safer than everyone else's, and we still went out and did what we had to do. It wasn't the quickest car every time, wasn't the fastest, but it won rounds. We went down the track when I had to, and when I had to step up as a driver, I did my job, and when the crew chief had to get the car down the racetrack, he did his job. Any championship, any time, and probably in any sport, can go several different ways just by one day being different. And we did what we had to do when it was right. I had a good reaction time when it had to happen and beat Coletta in Reading, Pennsylvania, or he runs the second quickest round in the history of the sport. If he beats me, he's right back in the hunt. But we got it done when we had to do it. Those are the special rounds where you look back and go, oh, that round helped win the championship, or this qualifying run, or this performance at this track. We just had enough of them to stay ahead and did a good job.
Yeah, this year was just bouncing around, and, like you said, Coletta he was on a roll from the start of the season. And, what changed with your team during the countdown, and what was it, just those few first round losses by Coletta that, kind of helped you guys out, or what happened there? What was good?
Well, it didn't help us out so much as hurt them. It takes the wind out of your sails, man. You go out, they make a mistake like that, and it's like, oh, man, not Schumacher again, because we've done that enough times, and it's just, I think leadership helps. I think leading the team, when you're far enough ahead, and you make some comments like I said, I'd like to be 160 points ahead in Reading. Well, we left Reading 120 points ahead. We had to show up basically in Vegas and stay just a little bit ahead of them to win the championship. And there comes a point in the season where you look at your team and they got this look in their eyes, because some of them were new. God, we're that close. You know, and we're good at leading them at that time and saying, you know, this is it, boys. All we got to do is be a machine and break their backs so he's nothing on the table. And we went out and did that, man, you know. And at the end of the day, when the guys are standing there looking at that trophy, they're going to look back. You know, every trophy, like I said at the banquet, tells a story. Each one's important. How you got there, how you earned it, you know, what you had to sacrifice for it, and the dedication. And those 9 guys that worked on that car, man, they're going to know that this year they gave up so much to win that championship that that trophy is just going to shine more than most of them that they'll put on their shelves. It was a really good accomplishment. We beat some great cars. It is the day of people winning championship after championship, like we won 6 in a row. They're gone.
Yeah.
Nobody will do that. There's too many good cars. There's too many great cars that can win on any given day.
Right.
All right, so you kind of talked about the 6-disc clutch and the canopy. Whether it's related to speed or safety or whatever, what kind of feeling does it give you when something you or your team was involved in comes together like that, successful?
That's fantastic. Because for 2 years we sacrificed. I want, you know, people, oh man, you know, those 2 years were a waste. No. 2 years of getting beat are not a waste. If you go 2 years and then don't win a championship ever again, maybe it's a waste. It's a sacrifice. It's what you have to do to take leaps and bounds ahead of another person, and that's what we did. We didn't fight, but we had internal discussions going. You know, do we go back to the 5-disc? We know we can win races that way. Other people are doing that. Why are we fighting so hard? And Mike Green and Neil, they just said, look, we have got to win the championship, and to do that, we've got to stay on course. And that was a difficult thing, man. You know, I drive for the Army. I don't drive for campers. You know, I mean, they guys are tough.
Yeah.
They want you to win, and it's necessary to lead all these men and women that are overseas doing their job. They need a little bit of home back home, you know, and I'm the car, you know, that's got their name on it. So it's really important for us to show that we can get through the adversity. And I think it's special because kids need to know that adversity happens every day. If there's no adversity, you're just doing something that's too easy. If you don't have to get through hard times, well, you're not even pushing yourself. So the job and task for us is to find, and I love that it's the most difficult class there is. It's very hard to win. Then to find a way to win the whole championship, to get through these tough times, lead, smile, not fire people, not complain, not throw helmets. I get so tired of seeing people throw helmets when they're kicked off.
Yeah.
We're all angry. You know, I mean, if you get beat, you're angry. There's not an excuse, but there's a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Beat for a reason. Either I was late on the starting line, the car blew up, it broke. There's a reason every time. You got to be able to look at it, evaluate it, fix the problem, come back and do it again with, you know, without that stuff in your mind. And I think that's the key. It's just being focused, knowing you got 9 guys around you. Put it this way: you're all in school now. Would you like to drive a race car?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would you like to drive it with your 5 best friends working on it?
No, someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and the gift of my life is that I get to drive a race car with 9 guys who are so darn good that I have all the faith in the world that they're going to go out and win a race. And any day, even if the car's not running right for qualifying, we can win because they can figure it out. If I looked down at my visor and saw my 5 high school friends working on it, I would freak out.
Wow.
Don't blame me there. Don't blame me. Okay, so you were talking about, you know, your wins and stuff, and you know that each one of them is special. What is the most memorable win in your career?
2006, having a set a world record on the last run of the year. And it wasn't that we had to set a world record on the last run of the year. It was that everything along the way built up to that moment. I was 336 points behind Doug Coletta. It was so far back that you were done. And we started to catch him, and all the little moments along the way made the moment at the end where we were sitting on the starting line, getting buckled in, and all we had to do was win the final round, set a world record on the last run of the year. That's it. No big deal. We couldn't do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we did it.
Yeah.
But whether we did it or not, I felt blessed to have that moment. You know, just to be sitting in that car looking around going, this is pretty big. You know, You know, kids in high school playing football dream of that big game. You know, and that's what we had right in front of us. And I had it with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Good collection of guys that were excellent at suck-it-up moments.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I was actually watching that video the other day, and I mean, it was just such a window that you had on that run, and it's crazy.
It was crazy. If I would have rolled forward when I was staging that car, if I would have rolled forward 2 inches, just a little further forward, the elapsed time would have been 200 slower, and we'd have lost.
Oh, wow.
It
Holy.
had to be absolutely perfect.
And you displayed that. So.
Well, would you gonna win? If you're gonna qualify and set a world record, you have to do 2 runs within 1%.
Wow.
1%. Normally, Friday night you go out because the conditions are great. You run the quickest run ever, and then you got all weekend to run within 1% of that run.
Wow.
We went on Saturday. We went out. We ran. I think Friday or Saturday. We had made a run good enough for a backup.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we ran the quickest run, we couldn't run too fast. We could run outside. The quickest run in the history of the sport, but was outside the window of 1%.
Oh, okay.
We won the race, made the quickest run in history, and Coletta would have been the champ.
Oh.
It would have been brutal.
Okay.
It had to be perfect.
Yes, indeed.
Perfect narrow margin, guys.
Yeah, there's lots of narrow margins.
You know, for the people at your school that are listening, you know, when your teachers tell you that we all get trophies and everybody wins, they're lying. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't all get trophies. You don't know. Everyone's not going to get a job. Everyone's not going to be successful. Everyone has the opportunity to be. There's where they're off in the thing. When they give everyone a trophy, they're teaching weakness. You're training people to be average and expect to be just normal, and it's not really acceptable, man. Our country we need to be better than average. We need to be stronger and try harder, not raise weakness.
Right.
Yeah, so related to being stronger in our country and everything, what's it like for you to be sponsored by the U.S. Army?
It's the greatest thing in the world. I mean, I enjoyed when Exide was my sponsor. I look around my team and NAPA and all the other sponsors, all great partners, great sponsors. They have a job, a task in hand. But like I said, I was flying helicopters yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I jumped on airplanes. I've been in Afghanistan, Iraq. I know some of the Delta Force guys, special operation guys, some of the SEAL teams for the Navy. I get to meet the baddest dudes in the world. And when you're buckled in a car and you're about to go 300 miles an hour, it's good to know those guys.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to call on them, but you have to have conversations with them, and your attitude reflects the people you surround yourself with. You don't surround a bunch of wussies. You're going to be a wussy. It's just kind of normal. Trust me. Go sit at a table tomorrow and find 5 dumb people and sit by them. You can't help but get stupider. It's the way it is, man, because you're just hearing nonsense. You get around 5 of the baddest dudes in the world that know how to accomplish stuff, you're going to learn. You want to learn engineering? Sit with engineers. You want to learn math? Sit with people that understand math, because that's the discussion. And I sit around the baddest dudes in the world, and I definitely I get the right attitude when I get buckled in the car. It helps. Every now and then, though, I like sitting around the idiots. They're fun, trust me. Good times. Good times.
So, you know, we're stepping a little bit into your personal life here. You know, what do you do during your off season with the family?
I wish it was really an off season. I mean, again, I was, you know, in Alabama, and a couple days before that, I was in New York doing Fox and Friends. But, you know, I get to be a dad. I'm at basketball right now. My kids in there practicing. I get to be a normal person for a little while. And get up in the morning, make the kids eggs in the morning every day or pancakes, drive them to school, just do the stuff that I miss so much of, you know.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I literally wait for them to get back home. We'll hang out, do homework, and do all the stuff that I miss 200 days a year, you know.
Yeah.
So, at what point, and maybe you've already reached it, and maybe it's always, but during the off season, are you just ready to get back racing?
Usually about a week after the season ends. It depends how it ends. If it ends poorly, you can't wait to start again. When you win the champ, if you're only the champ until you start, then you're just another unqualified dude till you know. So right now, we're number 1. We're number 1 when we get to the first race. If we don't win it, someone else is number 1, you know. And it's like, you wonder, are you going to do it again? You know, and there was a time where we were winning every year, and you stop smiling for the pictures. You're like, oh, to see some old pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think, there'll come a day when it's your last win, the last time. That's it. That's the one. And, right now, you just got to enjoy it, man. I mean, winning an 8th championship, spectacular. It's never been done before in Top Fuel, and it just makes me want to have number 9. And I got some fire under me now. We got a great talk. And it may take a few years because, again, back-to-backs are going to be hard, man.
Mm-hmm.
Winning a championship is very hard. Backing it up might even be the hardest thing ever. I mean, just an intense situation.
Yeah. So, this year you took your 75th win, actually, in your history. What was that like for you? What was special about that?
What 75th win?
Maybe we got the number wrong. Did we get the number wrong?
By 40. Simple math. Yep, 70. I think we went 75, maybe even 76. We won a bunch. It's been a long time. My 35th win, I remember doing that. Man, that was a long time ago. I remember just because I think it beat Joe Amato at the time. I think my 35th win. Boy, and I'm not good with this stuff. I think it was in Charlotte when the double wide had just started. We won the first Charlotte and surpassed Joe Amato, and that was 40 wins ago, man. And it's unbelievable amount of stuff we've accomplished.
Okay, well, obviously I saw something wrong. I don't know. So.
No big deal. You weren't that far off.
Okay, well that's good. At least it wasn't that bad,
Yeah, at least you didn't say 75, and I'd be like, no, it was only 35.
Well. Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay, well that's
great sport, man.
Yeah.
All right. I'm kind of related to wins. Do you have a favorite track at all to go race at?
Boy, I think my favorite track is Sonoma, California, and which is strange because I've won Indy 9 times. I've won Pomona a bunch, Vegas a ton, Dallas a ton of times, and still Sonoma. It's just there's something about maybe it's an incredible crowd, fantastic racetrack, Sonoma, Napa Valley, California, and maybe it's the time of season. You're getting in the western swing, countdown's about to start, and you're getting strong. I don't know, but it's just if people ask me, I'm going to go to one race, where should it be? Highly recommend you get out to Sonoma. It's just there's something about that place, man.
Okay. Totally lost my train of thought. When you were a kid, because you've got kids and stuff, when you were a kid, what was your dream job? Did you always want to get into racing, or was it kind of towards something else?
I wasn't sure, and we own a battery charger company. We still do Schumacher Electric. I just assumed I was kind of going in that direction. But when Garlitz and Muldowney and Tommy Ivo would stop at our house in Park Ridge, Illinois, we had a little race shop at the back, and Blue Max, Beetle, these guys would all come over, and they'll probably be painting his War Eagle in the back shop, or Tommy Ivo's jet car sitting out my driveway. At 10 years old, I just see that stuff.
Yeah.
Not in a million years do you think you're going to go that way. That's too big when you're young.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I just started building cars and working on stuff. But it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I realized I'm going to do this. This is what I want to do. It's just, I always, I speak 200 times a year to kids. I tell them to spend more time than I did. I didn't spend time really sitting with my parents and saying, here's what I want to do. What is the correct course to get to? It's funny, you wake up every day and a day goes by, you do your homework, you go to bed, you play with your friends, and all of a sudden you're 20 years old, and it's like, wow, I really haven't paid much attention to life.
Yeah.
And most kids go that way, and I tell them, spend some time. Think about if you won the lottery tomorrow and get all the money in the world, what would you want to do anyway? That's the job you want. Because, there's certain jobs you could pay someone a lot of money and they hate it anyways. And there's certain jobs you can do for free and love it. So find the one that you wake up, you're happy, and that's what you want to be, and that's what you want to do, and go for it, man. It could be a fireman, it could be jumping out of airplanes. I don't know. Everyone's got their own ideas, but pick it. Don't get stuck with everything else that's left. After everyone picks the jobs they want, you don't want to get stuck with what's left. know?
Right.
Yeah. This year I actually got stepped into a junior dragster, and so did my sister. Have you ever thought about, do your kids ever want to race, or?
We have a junior dragster that's never even gone down the racetrack. Anthony plays baseball, Mikey does basketball, football.
Holy
and
cow.
Jackson and Dan. And, I'll never push it. They know how much I'm gone.
Yeah.
I love my job, but you know what? It's funny. I was listening to a comedian this morning, and he was talking about the dangers of it. There are certain things you got to prepare for to be a race car driver.
Right.
An accountant doesn't sit in his chair, and know he could be on fire in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It's a different level of intensity to do what I do. So I'm not going to put. If they wake up one day and go, Dad, I want to drive one of those things. Won't work on it. If they gotta want it, I can, and I won't, but I can name 5 drivers out there that could, do it because they're told to do it, and they're not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
And you can't be good at it. It's one of those things where you better wake up every day and just can't wait to get in a race car. That's the kind of attitude you have to have for that. So firemen have that, policemen even have that. They're not overpaid. They're just doing their duty. They're doing what they're calling work. And soldiers of all people. Think about that, man. Most underpaid, overworked people in the entire world. Doing it for freedom, doing it for the guy next to them. Think about it. That's an intense situation. Because they love it, because that's, and maybe they didn't know it even when they started, but you get out there in the, and they call it the theater, you get out there and you're doing your job. It's pretty intense. It's all about the people next to you. You learn to love it so much that it just becomes you, so. We'll see what they want to do.
Yeah. So you obviously love racing, as we all know, and you just said. What do you have a favorite part of the race day at all?
Just the intensity. That's it. Very few sports in the world where you can see the finish line from the starting line. You're 3 seconds away from knowing if you are going to win or lose. Which is great for my attention span. It's about 4 seconds. So,
Yeah.
And it's really intense over and over again. No matter what job I choose in life, it would have to be that intense. For me, I can't sit at a desk. I go crazy. I can't handle it. And there's people sitting at desks that would never sit in race car. So we all have our purpose, man. We got it.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, what is, what's going through your mind when you're getting strapped in and you're just getting staged? What's going through your head?
Well, just being a machine, man. Being exact.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to do this. I've been doing this a long time. I eliminate thoughts. I sing a song every now and then, but I just eliminate thoughts because in that car, if you're trained, here's a good example. Think of you guys are in school. You got a test next week, right? Study for it so much that you know the answers.
Mm-hmm.
You study so much, your mind gets uncongested because you have the answers, and you don't overwhelm it yourself. If you go into that test underprepared, your mind's going to be spinning. So it complicates. I prepare for this race long before the race. I know what I'm doing, so I can relax during the race. Calm, cool, machine-like. Without the thoughts, without the plan comes long before you're sitting in that car. Once you're in the car, man, you don't have to figure out how to do it.
Right. So, all right. Well, I think we're out of time.
Yes.
So we want to thank you very much, Tony. And
anytime, guys. I enjoy it. I'm going to go back and watch my kids play basketball, and you guys, you do a good show. I enjoy chatting with you.
Thank you. Awesome. We love having you. We've had you before, and we will definitely have you again. So, all right. Well, thanks, Tony, and we will talk to you later.
I'll see you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was Tony Schumacher on Drag Racing Weekly. We conclude our show.